Hello. So, guys, we are live on YouTube now, starting our um, third webinar here for the hackathon. We're talking about the Q and A's, that questions that you might have. Also, go through every component that we have on Anitya, so you can use it to make more interactions and more complex your world. Big updates. We have set it on our Discord and sent all the emails, but now we have one official platform, one official website for the hackathon. All the works, and to be eligible for the prizes, we need to you guys to be signed up there. That is hackathon.anitya.space. It's on the description on our videos. It's also on our Discord announcements. So make sure you have been signed up there. The prizes, the criteria all remain the same, but we also extended the deadlines for December 10th. So hackathon.anitya.space, that is the official website. Sign up there, send your word through that too. You're going to receive all the links uh, uh, to make the submissions, and we have the extended deadline, but the prizes and the the criteria remains the same. Okay, now passing to you, Vitinho, please. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. So this is the third day of our webinar, of our workshop. And in the first day, we talked about Anitya basics, we talked about some navigation and also shortcuts and how to start placing 3D objects and media files in your scene, the most basic ones. And then in the second day, we talked a little bit more about the trigger system in Anitya and how gamification actually works for us. We shared a few examples of a mini game where you needed to cross a river with some crocodiles, and you had this teleportation. There was a checkpoint system, and also a lever that was triggering a few actions. And then we opened for the conversation and for some questions. Talking about also how to make chained reactions like a nest system using parents and child's entities here in the elements panel. So if you want to know about all those topics in Anitya, you can find our last webinar video here in our YouTube, and you can always recur to that hackathon, to that webinar as a source of help and tutorial for you all to make a little bit more complex gamifications here. Now I ended the last webinar talking about our components. As you can see, Anitya is a little bit different from the last webinar to this one. We just released a major update in our tool, and a few things have changed, and that's something that we will be talking about now. First of all, as you see, the layout is different, and we used to have an inventory panel in here, but we figured it out that it was blocking a lot of the view. So now your assets library, which is your inventory, is attached to your elements panel. In here, you have those two tabs where you can find the current elements in your scene. It's these ones in here. And you have the assets tab where you can find your inventory with all the assets that you have in your account. And also, if you want to upload a file, this is the space where you will do it. And just as a reminder, Anitya allows you to upload audio files, MP3s, image files, PNGs and JPEGs, 3D files, GLBs, and video files, OGV files. So this is one of our biggest change. Now, if you want to add a file to the scene, you just need to find it here in your inventory. And then let's say I want this plant in here. You can easily drag it from here and drop it in your scene or inside your elements panel as well. So this is one of the changes that occurred now. The second one is, as you can see, to close these panels and open these panels, you can always use the numbers 1 and 3 in the keyboard, but you can also use those buttons in here and those buttons in here to open and close the panel. In here we have the AI generation panel that you guys are also already familiar since we shared AI generation in Anitya since the first webinar. And in here we have this bar for you to select what type of gizmo you want to see. The gizmo is this 3D visualization of the transform values inside of each X, and then you can select between the moving gizmo, the rotation gizmo, the scale gizmo, and the selection gizmo that displays all of them. If you click in here to use the local space, it changes between the word references as for the rotation scale and the local object reference. In here, if you click it, you will open the skybox element. In a while, we are wanting to have a little bit more things for people to do in the skybox, but now we move the skybox element to this button in here. Okay, so those were the changes in the layout. The second changes that we need to be talking about is the improvement systems that we did in the navigation. For like we are aware that Anitya was kind of hard to use with the trackpad, and we had a lot of users that were relying on the trackpad to build, especially people with notebooks. So that's why we revamped our navigation to help people on the trackpad to be able to use together the keyboard and only one finger to make movements and build in Anitya. So now Alt is actually what's going to trigger the orbit system. So when you press Alt, you don't need to click on anything else in your mouse. You can just like move around while pressing Alt. If you are on the trackpad, you'll see that with one finger and Alt, you can already orbit an object. Especially if you are, let me select a specific object and approach it. But also if you use a mouse, you can use the middle mouse button for that, which is the button in the scroll. You can use it for that. And maybe the best change that we did in the navigation system is that before you will need to click on the secondary button of the trackpad, the tiny button in the bottom right corner of your trackpad, and use the finger to control the fly navigation, because we were always needing to have the right mouse button pressed. And now to enable the fly navigation, you just need to use the WASD, and it automatically locks your mouse. You can control the speed with the scrolling the mouse wheel, as you can see in here. And then all the navigations that you use in the play mode, W, A, S, D, Q to move down, E to move up, and Shift to increase a little bit the velocity related to the one that is selected in this bar uh, in the bottom of the screen. So this is the revamp on our navigation system. It's way better now to build using trackpad. You don't need to be clicking on secondary buttons and like making like crazy shapes with your hand to build. You just need to like select one key in the keyboard and swipe your finger, and this will improve a lot the quality of life of the builder. So those were changes in our last update yesterday. Every time we do an update, we want you all to test it a lot and share with us everything you find, things that are working, and not. So please go on our Discord, use a lot the tool, and share with us everything you guys discover. Now, in this workshop, I want to do the continuation of what I was doing in the last workshop, which is talking about each of the components and the, the settings for each of those components in here. I remember like passing through all of them, but now I'm gonna be placing them in the scene so you guys can see what they actually do. Let's start for the light components. They are a visual dynamic light system in anitya, and we have three different types of lights. Which one has a different need and different also settings. So in the scene here, as you guys can see, we already have a point light. So I'm gonna select it, and when you select it, if you come here in the properties panel, let me close those other panels and make it full screen. Okay, now it is full screen. If you select this point light in here, you will see that we have the range configuration, which is the range of this sphere. Uh, and we have the attenuation configuration setting. If you decrease it, you'll see that the sharp of the sphere limits, it's much more visible. The edges are not fading at all, and as much you increase it, you'll see that the edge is going to be much more smooth. It's like a smoother for the edges of the point light range, the attenuation. The specular is actually how much the other objects are going to be reflecting the light, how strong is going to be the light reflection in other objects that has reflection. And in here you also have the color. You can choose between any color you prefer. You can make completely different vibes if you want using the light system. And the energy is just increasing or decreasing the force of this light, the energy of this light. So in here we also have the directional light. In the scene we already have one of those. The directional light works as a sunlight. So in the directional light it doesn't matter the position, the scale, and the rotation. No, sorry, the position and the scale of the directional light, but the rotation is very important. As you can see, there is this arrow in here pointing towards where the light is facing. Uh, and if I change the rotation here, you'll see that the shadows are also gonna change together. If you're using the low graphic resolution, you won't be seeing the real-time shadows. So if you want to see it, you need to use the medium and high graphics. Although it comes with a performance cost, but not a lot. I think you all can give it a try. And in here, uh, you see that we have the dynamic shadow on. I could turn it off. Imagine if I already have this word with baked shadows and I don't want to recalculate the shadows again. So I would not apply the shadow calculation, also because it has a performance cost as well, but I will leave this one applied. And if you want a very dark shadow, you can also use it. If you want a very light shadow, almost no shadow, you just need to make it more white, but you can also apply colors to the shadows and it looks pretty nice as well. In the bias is a setting of how it's going to calculate the shadows and the contact shadows, stuff like that. Specular is the same thing, and the energy the same thing. Light is the same thing. The color also the same as the other one. Now the spotlight works like a flashlight, as you can see here in the scene. You can select it from the gizmo, and you will always be able to. Here is a good way to show how specular changes. You see, like if I put like a higher value in the specularity, let me put 100, you see that every part of this wall that is reflecting, it reflects much stronger, the light. If I use 1, it's way less strong. So I could also use 0 if you don't want at all the reflectable objects to have this. Yeah, and you just want the light radius, you could also use 0 specular. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't want this little light reflection in an object. I just want it to be more opaque and very, I don't know, plastic, and then I disable it. The energy is the same thing. The nice thing about this one is that you can change the angle. I mean, you can make it very closed, like a very closed spotlight for a focused thing, or you can increase it a lot and make it super huge, like I don't know, 70, and then it's gonna be super huge. No need for that. Attenuation again, same thing that I was showing before. The energy doesn't need to be that huge, and here the the colors as well. This light also has the shadow settings different from the point light. The point light is the only one that we don't render shadows dynamically, but the spotlight and the directional light does. So if I put it in here, for example, you will be able, at least I think, you will be able to see some shadows. Mm, let me change it in here. The attenuation is 0. But we should be able to, oh, here you can see like the shadows moving in there. Yeah, because it renders the shadow of your character or any other shadow. You can always come here and also change the darkness and the color of the shadows itself. So those are the three light systems that we have. Remembering that we can always add components to it. So if you want to make a gamification in the light, like if you want to show the light only after you enter in a certain spot of your world, you can use a show hide, and then you can specify which is going to be the trigger and the trigger type, and all that you can learn seeing the last webinar as well. Today is going to be all about the component settings itself. So the other settings that I want to talk about here is the texts, the text box that we have. So let me bring it to here, put it here. As you can see, you have two different types of text. This is the text 2D, and in here I can do whatever I want. So uh, in here you can change, for example, the font. Hello, welcome. Like in here. You can change also the size of the font. You can change the frame with it. Like if it's 10, for example, it's gonna look like that. If it's 20, it's gonna look like that. If it's, I don't know, 100, then it's gonna fit it all. And here you can change the font size, and you can also apply a stroke on it. Let's say I put a 2 value stroke. Let me put even more, like 10, and like a gray color. So you can do it also in anitya if you want some signs, for example, or sometimes you wanna put a subtitle of an audio that only appears in a certain point of the experience, and then you can also apply a show hide, and then when you approach this certain point, and or if you trigger something, then the text appears. Or if you are building, like, I don't know, a place where it's going to happen a festival or a park, and you need to put signs, and you don't want to like be bringing 3D objects for each sign, and you want to be able also to change the text of the sign in a very easy way. So this is a good way to display texts in the scene using the 2D text. And of course, we also, let me open here my elements panel and duplicate it and bring it a little bit up. We also have the 3D text component. It's basically the same thing of the 2D text. You will see that you have some of the same configurations, but you cannot create like a stroke, and but you can change its color in here and the font in here, just like the other one. We were using 11 actually. And the nice thing about this one is that you can change the extrusion of this text. You can basically say how much you want it to be extruded. So also very good for signs. Sometimes I even like to merge both the texts to create like something like that. This is a way to make, I don't know, cooler text in anitya, but like just be aware that every time you edit one of those texts, you will need to edit the other as well to have the same configurations. But this is a very nice way to make your signs and display them in the 3D world. And I'm even gonna remove the stroke from this one. Oh, I think it's too attached. Okay, so beside the text, we have the spatial 3D audio and the global audio. I already explained those in the last video, but basically the spatial audio is an audio file that that input this fire in here. For example, I think I need to turn on the, yeah, I can already start hearing it. Uh, if I put to show distance, you will see that the distance matters, and this is the radius where my audio is going to be playing. If I'm very far away, then it's going to be like barely, like you can barely listen to this audio, but if you approach it, you see that the volume increases a lot, and it also makes a difference the left and right position. So sometimes you want to make like some people talking in a place, or you have like this river that is only passing in the right side of a road or in your scene, and then you can put a bunch of water sphere audios near the river, and as your character approaches the river, they start listening a little bit more of the water audio, and then you also can have an idea of the direction of the element by using the sound. You can apply the sound position, the spatial audio position, as a gamification component as well. You can, like for example, there is this word that you need to cross a road, and there are cars coming in your direction, and inside of the 3D entity of the 3D element here in the car, I added the spatial 3D audio component of a car moving. It was a loop, and then every time that the car passes through you, you can hear it like perfectly, the zoom, the, like approaching when it's very close, and also when it fades away, and always matching my left and right positions. It's a very nice and very immersive way to deal with audios. The global audio is different. The global audio is basically an audio that is going to play for everyone the same. So if I play it in here, it's set it up to autoplay and loop. If I jump in the scene right now, it's actually going to, okay. If I jump in the scene right now, it's actually going to start playing these bass pools, and it's going to play just like any other audio file in the YouTube or in Spotify, whatever. It's just like going to start playing normally stereo as it should be. It doesn't matter the position in the word. In here we have some media files, which is very important for you to know how to use it. The video file, you'll see that you already have a template here of the video screen without any media. But as you upload your files in here, here we have the videos. I think we even have some default videos from the Dream Machine. Let me select one of those. It can be this one. It's kind of beautiful. And you can drag it in here. It's gonna take a little bit to load, but you can select a few things in here. First of all, you can select a trigger to it. This is like exactly the same configurations that we showed in the last webinar, where you can select an element as a trigger, the trigger shape, if it's interactable, if it's only playing once, if it's playing locally. The video is something that sometimes you want it to play locally. Because sometimes you don't want someone to mess around with the video controls of the other person. So like in this scene, this is an art gallery, and usually in art galleries there are those videos that are constantly playing and looping, and you cannot go there and pause the video for you or for anyone else. So you can do it in here. You just need to hide the video controls, and then as you can see, the person won't have any control of the video. And then if you put the loop and the autoplay, it will start playing and looping forever, let's say like that. And this is what you want in this art gallery case. Actually, this art gallery is a template in anitya. You all can use it to start building your own gallery, your own portfolio. You have all those frames that are presetted in here that you can change the scale and make your own stuff. But as you can see, it already fits the video. You just need to put it with a little bit more uh, carefully. And yeah, like this is this frame, and if I put this video inside of this frame, actually now I can even increase the size of the frame, that and it's going to increase the size of the video together, since we created this parenting information here. So yeah, this is how to deal with the videos here in anitya. I'm using like the autoplay loop and audio video controls, but I could use a trigger. The other thing that we have, the other component that we have for media files are images, and images, they like can be used as, let me delete this image node that I created. Let me bring it directly from the asset library. In here, I think I only have skyboxes images to show, but it's not a problem. It could be any image. Like if you come here and bring it to the scene, one image, then it's going to appear like that. It's just like a 2D image in the scene. And for optimization matters, like we disable the double side view. You can only view it from one side. Sometimes this is useful if you have an information that you want to show only when the user is looking to something or in the right direction, and when it's facing the other direction, you don't want the user to see this information. So this can be very useful. But if you want to see both, you can select the double-sided in here, and then you'll see both sides of the image. Also, here in our AI generation, I was doing this earlier today, you can also create images. Like, let's see that I want a golden flower pattern. You can always generate an image without needing to transform it in a 3D object. That's what I wanted to say. Like the AI generation code can also help you to generate only images if you want to. If you want to create like a storytelling that uses images, you can always do it using our AI system. Just need to wait a little bit. And one nice thing about it, you guys will see uh, when it stopped generating. Nice, nice. Those are nice. Let's say that I want this one, this pattern here, and a nice thing about it is if you don't like click on the image to 3D now, if you just save and place in 3D space, here you will see the image. I don't want it to be double-sided, And the good thing is this is a transparent image, so I can enable transparency, and any image with transparency, you can use it for that. And I can now place it wherever I want in my scene. Let's say I want this to be in the wall to create like this vibe. And let me decrease a little bit the size as well. And okay, this is something that you can easily do uh, using anitya AI to create those images. Sometimes you want a floor pattern or an image of something in the wall or in one of those frames. You can easily do it using our AI generation. Now the teleport, sorry, now the other media, because this is a media, it is a media also, is the hyperlink. And this is very nice if you are building your portfolio, for example, in anitya. Like imagine, let me put in here a hyperlink. You can make it visible here. This is basically saying that in this area in here, if you are not using your mouse locked in the play mode, and I'm going to show this in the play mode, you can click in this area and it will open a link in another tab. So in here you can place the link. Let me see, anitya.space, our website. So in here I can place my link, as you guys can see. I want it to be visible, but this visibility is only in the editor mode. It won't show in the play mode. Let's put it on top of the hello welcome message, and I can change its size as well. So basically what I'm saying is if I click in the hello welcome in the web, it will open Anitya's website. This is a very nice feature if you are making, like, imagine you are making some work for a client, and then you need to attach websites or social media into your project without needing to like write it down. The Instagram, the website, and whatever. You can only have the logo, for example, and then if the person clicks on the logo, it leads the person to the, it takes the person to the website, the user to the website that you want. Or you can add a trigger like any other trigger. Imagine that you accomplish something, you reached a certain spot of the word, and then it opens a link in another tab. So it's a very powerful component actually that you can use either for commercial purposes, for gamification purposes, if you want to attach a lore or something like that, or anything related to your game, you can attach hyperlinks. I think I'm good to play now, just to show this hyperlink working. I hope it works actually. Let me make sure. Okay, if I play this experience now, it's gonna publish. Okay, I don't see my 3D text at all actually. Let me come back there. I think that we are finding a bug here now. We have the hyperlink, the link is in here, it's saved, we have everything. Let me try to check something. If I change the position of those assets, okay, some error happened with my spawn point, but it's fine. Here, as you can see, you guys can see my cursor, right? Rodrigo, that you guys can see my pointer of my mouse. Okay, I hope yes.
Yeah,
So
we can see now. We
basically,
can see. Yeah. Sorry.
okay, okay. So basically, when you approach it, you see that it's going to change to this clickable uh, cursor. So you hover, whatever. If you click on it, it's opening another tab with the website that you wanted to be opened. And also, you could do it like as you see. I had this trigger that if I touch the hyperlink, it would appear in here. I highly recommend if you have a hyperlink and you are using a trigger like this to not use the collision of the character but make a radius and make it interactable. So your character enter in this area and then they press F and then it opens the hyperlink. Or you're going to be walking around in the scene and out of nowhere a link will be opened in another tab. It's not a very good gamification experience. But as you can see, using like that by clicking or by having the interactable key to trigger it is a very good solution. And you can learn how to do it also in the last webinar video. And I think that we're coming to the end of the components. So, like, now, the teleportation I showed in the last webinar as well, like those that are related to gamification will be a little bit more trickier, but I will show as well how to use it. In here we have a collision one, which is basically a big collision box. Oh, sorry, a big collision box. You need to make it visible. And as you can see, you can change the size. It could be a sphere, it could be a cylinder, it could be a capsule, and this is just a collider. Your character will come near to it and won't be able to like transpass it. It's just a collision. So sometimes you need to have a fake wall in your terrain, or your avatar is going to fall. So you use the collision, and you don't need to bring a 3D invisible object to the scene. You can use the collision. This visible collision here only enables this green visibility in the editor mode. It doesn't make a difference in the play mode. It's always going to be invisible. So I actually use it a lot. I actually use it a lot in all of the worlds that we built, that we're building for rogues. We have a bunch of those colliders to make sure people are not falling everywhere else. And the water surface I already showed also, and the particle system. This one is very nice. I want to show the particle system better with more time now because the last webinar I couldn't. So I'm gonna put it in here. And the particle system is basically like a particle system that uses the CPU to 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 load. And then you have some like configurations in here. You can change the first of all, I'm gonna start by changing the size 0.5. You can change the gravity. So like if you put one, it's gonna go up. If you put one now to this other X, it's gonna do it like that. You can say that you want it to autoplay, or you can set up a trigger to make it play as well. You can set up the amount. You can set up the type of emitter. So in this is a point emitter, but it could be a ring emitter. So like this full ring is emitting the the particles itself. And like one thing that we are using it for is to make rain in the game, just like the visual idea of rain. But you can use to like create those effects in places that you want to for people to pay more attention to it. So you can always use the particle to create this kind of effect. You can change the spread, for example, the speed, for example. It could be super fast or it could be super slow. You can change the lifetime if it's going to like be appearing in the scene for too long or not. And if you show the advanced settings, there's also more things that you can change. You can change the randomness. This will change the randomness, especially for the size of it. You can change the lifetime randomness, so some will fade away before and some will keep appearing. You can select some, like two of those shaders that we have. We have this water shader, like for example, and if we rotate it, it will, yeah, match it. Like the rain that we are doing is basically like having a water shader like this one, gravity that is uh, minus a lot, and in here -5 as well. Okay, and now imagine like 30 in the amount, and imagine a super big scale and a super fast speed. And when you do it, you have something that relates like rain a little bit. Yeah, it looks super nice in the scene. We could even make it a little bit less. Yeah, like that. So this is a way to do it. For example, using the particle system. Like the particle system has a performance cost, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's very valuable if you like if you manage how to use it and to make it look nice without needing to have much more than this amount of particles. Like in my computer can handle 200 particles, wouldn't be like too much for me, but it can start to be tricky for other people machines. So I try to make it like 15 or 30, but it's a nice way to create like raindrops, for example, or like a fire. If you change it in here, the the color to another, can change also the alpha. But yeah, this is basically, you see, you can change the color ramp, the transition of those colors in the particles, the contrast, the saturation. It's a very, very powerful node here in Anitya, the particle system. You can do a lot with only having those configurations. And I'm always clicking the wrong one. Now, the water surface, I'm pretty sure that you are all already aware of how it works. I also showed during the last two ones. Now I'm gonna show you all the group system. This is a tricky one as well, but I'm gonna give it a try for the last one also. This can be nice if you are building a game where you need to create like two different levels and you don't want the person to see the level one if they are in the level two. So I'm gonna create a new entity in here, which is gonna be called level one, and I'm gonna add this group component in here. I don't use it a lot because it can be a little bit buggy sometimes, but let's give it a try. Maybe it works. So first of all, you need to select the skybox for the level one, which is the group one, the group of components one. So I'm gonna come here on the images, and I'm gonna use the desert cloud dust, which is the same that I'm using in here. Uh, and now I'm gonna take everything that I have. First of all, I'm going to make sure everything is on the zero position. And I'm going to take everything that I have and put it in the level one. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I have a group containing all of those stuffs in here. Okay. So let's say that I want to go to a different level after this one. And when I go to this different level, I don't want to render all that again because I want to improve my performance. I want to optimize my project. So I'm creating a new entity in here, also placing in the 000 position. If you're using group, please don't change the position, rotation, and scale of your group entity. And now I'm gonna add in I'm gonna add another group component, and this will be the level 2. Just saying, this might work and might not work perfectly, but I want to give this shot. And let's say that in this one, I have this fog morning skybox. This is my group 2, level 2. Now I'm gonna only take the floor to duplicate it, just for you guys, so you guys can see it. Let me duplicate it and let me put in the level 2. So basically what I'm saying is that everything that is inside of this group will be rendered in the level 1. And when I move from this group to this group in here, all that will fade away. I won't be able to see it. It's still gonna be here in the scene, but I won't be able to see it anymore. And this will increase the performance of your game, because then you can make several different levels and you don't need to render all the 3D objects at the same time. So let me put the floor in here so we can see the difference, if it works, of course. And I'm gonna put a checkpoint in this level as well, which is gonna be the destination of my teleportation to change between levels. So this is like the checkpoint. Or the arrive level 2, for example. So let's say in here I have the first group with this skybox. My spawn point needs to be in the level 1 group. Okay, this is very important, the starting point. And I wanted to, and I need to say that this group is my entry point. This group is my level 1. So this is my entry point. This is very important. And then I want to move to this other group, and for that I'm gonna use a teleportation. This is the only way to make it work, using a teleportation node. So let me create a new entity in here. Let me put it on the level 1. Let me put it like, I don't know, in here, in the sofa, and add a teleportation. Okay, so I want this portal, the destination needs to be inside of the other group. That's the most important thing. You need to have a portal inside of one group, and the destination needs to be inside of the other group, of the other group component. And now, if I enter in this portal, as soon as I appear in here, it's supposed to change the skybox to this one. Let me even pick a one that is more different, like this night one. It's supposed to change the skybox, and I'm supposed to not be able to see any of those. Like how I said, it's been a long time since I don't use this component. It's actually kind of tricky to show you guys, but if it's work, it's gonna be nice. If not, I'm gonna be sharing the video of it working as soon as we fix it. But let me play here. Yeah, I need to check this. Okay, so as you can see, skybox, everything from level 1. Okay, my teleportation is not here. Maybe it's in here. Yeah, no. Let me figure it out what happened. Okay, it is supposed to be here, the teleportation. And the level 2 here. Let me put a 3D object inside of the teleportation just to make sure that it is in here. It can be a text. Portal. Yeah, it's fine. Just to make sure that it's actually in here. Nah, it's not. Yeah. So I think that the issue is not even with the group system, but with the teleportation system because it's not appearing. It's not even appearing the portal itself. And I don't know why is that. Well, let me put it, I don't know, over here. So yeah, unfortunately, but this is a when it's working, I really want to share with you working because it's a very powerful tool to use to build big levels, big scenes. Sometimes you don't want to build a small world, you want it to have several different word parts, and then if you render it all at once it might be getting too heavy, but if you're able to hide a couple of those things. Oh, here it is. I think that it might be playing a previous version, not the last saved one. Yeah, no, it's actually not working. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But you can have my word. As soon as we make it work again, I will share this in the general chat in here because it's a very powerful tool to build bigger experiences. Sometimes you want like to have a level 1, level 2, level 3. You don't want it to render it all at once in a single time. This is actually how we are building rogues, words that you see that you have two, three, sometimes four different big levels inside of one project, and this is the way we do it. Actually, we use the teleportation with a group system that will take me to the other to the other level and hide everything that is from the previous level. So I'm sorry that I couldn't show it working, but this is the overview of each on each component. All the lights, the 3D texts, the 2D text, spatial and global audio, teleportation, water surface, and all that you can use to make better words by the end in the hackathon. And the hyperlink, which could be very also strategic for you, especially if you're making clients projects, stuff like that. And it's important that you guys are aware of each of those components and that you guys get creative using those components because basically this is one of the criterias for us to see the hackathon, the game jam words, is to see how much you all could be able to extract from the components that we deliver to all of you. So I think that's it. We have 1 hour. I will read the chat quickly here. Is there audio? Just done it, but I have no audio. Just checking. Da, da, da,
Yeah, we
da.
have two last
Do we
questions.
have?
Like Noel said, basically it's like calling using the groups.
It's like coding,
And
exactly. It's a coding system. Yeah.
nice. And
Move
Mike
rotate
has
scale working
yeah.
like Mike, I think that in this last update we broke something in the stage systems in the move rotate scale, but I already reported today morning to the dev team and they are already working on it. So if you guys experience a couple bugs and instability today, it's because of our last update. And feel free to report everything that you find. It's actually very important for us that you are all reporting here in the Discord. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of the tiny bugs that appeared is already gonna be solved in the next few hours. Okay, and thank you. Do you guys have other questions? Maybe I still wanted to make this group system work so much.
Let me take advantage here, guys. Please send your questions in those last minutes. I also shared the code for the flash task and get 400 life points here. It's new anitya. all lowercase, sent here on chat. You need to click it to unravel it and to reveal it. So we have the task. We have the new hackathon website. All signups to be eligible needs to be through the new hackathon.anitya.space website. So make sure you are signed up there. And like Vitor said, take advantage of all the different components and smart elements that we have. Make it very creative. Your board very creative and very interactable. So we can so the more complex the better your chances of having very nice words and submissions. The new deadline is December 10th, so just reinforcing it. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for the audience and hoping to see your words submitted to the hackathon. Okay, great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.